Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. Ohayou gozaimasu. Happy New Year to everyone. 明けましておめでとうございます。今年もよろしくお願い申し上げます。So we look forward to this new year. This is our Shusho service, a New Year's Day service, and we welcome the Year of the Dragon. I am born on the Year of the Dragon, so it's even more special to me to look forward to this year. So lots of anticipation. So we look at the new year, we have fresh eyes and renewed hopes and anticipation. You know, who knows what this year might bring. So we look forward to all of it. You know, we don't wish for or pray for or dream for a new year and good luck and all these types of things, but we do look forward to whatever life unfolds for us. So today, there's a story from Renyo Shonin. Renyo Shonin is on this side of the altar, okay, descendant of our founder Shinran Shonin. And there's a book, Kikigaki, maybe the memoirs of Renyo Shonin, and in one of the stories, he tells about a temple member. One of his temple members comes up to him, "Sensei, my mind is like pouring water into a basket. So when I listen to the Dharma, I come to the temple and listen to your talking about the Dharma, or I hear a guest lecturer come and speak. I'm filled with grateful, reverential feelings. But when I leave, I revert back to my old mind." So have we ever felt like this? I think I have. When you come in, maybe during Oshoko, or just to enter, and you bow, and you have this state of mind to be at the temple, and even your posture, how your body, you control your body, and you bow reverently, you listen reverently, and maybe some of the words to the story of that day ring real true to us all. This is so true, so true. And we are filled with gratitude to listen to the Dharma. But as soon as we walk out the door, we forget the whole thing, right? And I've told the story, you know, as a younger person, getting a ride to the Oakland Temple, my mother, and we'll be driving home, right? So what did Sensei talk about today? I don't know. and didn't he talk about this? Oh yeah. And didn't he talk about this? Oh yeah. And until she points it out, just complete blank, right? We don't even remember. So when we walk out the door, we go on with our errands, taking care of whatever, running to the store or something, you know, all this reverential feeling and thoughts of the Dharma just disappear. Words that you would never say at the temple come to mind and sometimes come out your mouth, right? And so these kind of things we revert, and this is what his member is telling him. So Renyo's advice to him: put your basket into the water. So you hold a basket like this, and you pour in a kettle full of water, and it all runs out the bottom. This is how our mind works, right? So Renyo Shonin says, dip the whole basket into the water. This means immerse yourself in the Dharma, in the ways of the temple, in the life of Nembutsu. So when you immerse yourself, then the water is there, it stays in the basket, okay? If you don't immerse yourself, it's going to run out for anybody, for everybody, even for him, okay? So I think this is a good story for New Year's as we look to continuing our ways and learning about the Nembutsu life and practicing this particular form of Buddhism, Shin Buddhism, and what does it all mean? And so I think it's a very important thing to recognize. Sometimes, we have people, and we're very fortunate to have this building, have this community, and such a history here in Alameda, and every temple feels the same way. But sometimes the temple comes to be treated as kind of a country club, our own private country club. And we get to do things, can we have this kind of occasion, that kind of occasion? Can we use the outside? Can we use the inside? And we have these things, but at the same time to keep it as a temple. And I think this is all very important. And as we do this, we immerse ourselves in the Dharma and we set our priorities. One of the things I was looking at last few days, some writings from John Paraskevopoulos. Okay, he's a sensei in Australia and a scholar as well, and he's written a book about Shin Buddhism. And it's interesting when you have someone who is not from the Buddhist culture or from Japanese background to write, and the words that he uses to describe things are very different. And in one part of his writing, he's saying it's very important people don't seem to say enough about the role of beauty in spiritual life. And he's talking about the arts, music, and things of this nature, and not just studying the words of what did Buddhism say or what's in this sutra or that sutra, but to recognize the role of the arts in your life, in your spiritual life. Okay, and so, many of you know I am now the chairperson of the BCA Art Committee, and we're asking people to contribute artwork and this and that, and exploring art as a different avenue of your spiritual expression, spiritual connection. So when you create art, Jane does her ikebana and teaches others here. Others have other forms of art that they appreciate, and to immerse yourself in that mind, like a visceral, total body experience of you and your spiritual self, you connected to the infinite. And I think we have this connection and we don't always acknowledge it. We went on a field trip, going somewhere with a couple members in my car, driving home and coming back over the Green Bridge, and you could see the temple from there, right, peeking out. And particularly after getting ready for the centennial, everything just dazzling, beautiful, right? And someone in the car, I forget who, you could see our temple. Isn't it beautiful? So I think of those words every time I drive across the bridge. I see the building peeking out, but to recognize and to notice the beauty of our temple, and just to recognize beauty. This is a spiritual element. And so when we come in, walking through the gates here, coming to the temple, we have this sense of peacefulness, calmness that the whole grounds holds, particularly for us who know what's in this temple, right? When we come to the bottom of the stairs and looking at the front of the temple, in the same sense when we come in. So here at a service, this altar is supposed to be symbolic of the Pure Land. The Pure Land is the perfect place to practice Buddhism. Okay, and so all these things, beautiful fresh flowers and the light, compassion, wisdom, life and light. These things are symbolic of the Buddha, and to be mindful of the Buddha and to have these things, but to touch our sense of seeing this beauty. I remember the first time I went to the Grand Canyon I had never been there, and I didn't know what I was expecting to see. But as you drive up there, there's nothing to see because it's down, right? It's a canyon, duh. So kind of waiting to see something beautiful, but you don't see it until you actually get there and look down. But once you look down, you know, it was sunset and the sun playing on the rock, changing the colors, and it's, wow. And you just stand there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you're ready to do anything else, just taking it all in. And this natural sense of beauty is something that just hits you, right? And it hits you. And we've all experienced that in different ways. Some of us go to Yosemite to have that same sense, right? And I think in looking forward to this year, I think we'll have this opportunity. We talk about a lot of the music that we have. We're not singing gathas today, and gathas are not my image of beautiful music or something like that, but it carries this sense of connection to the Dharma and so many things. People from all over in the Northwest, different districts in Hawaii, they're all working on these new gathas and to freshen what is Buddhist music or music that we utilize in our services, and we get to explore that. We've been talking about having choir practice after a separate time from service, so we can do it better when we meet like this. And so practice sessions and you know, it's not like everyone jumped up and down and said, oh yeah, choir practice, right? But to have this type of appreciation, we're going to have things at Rhythmics with the film showing of Carving the Divine, and this is a film documentary about craftsmen who work in Japan, learning the trade of carving these wooden statues of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and the training and the dedication that they go through to create these things that adorn temples in Japan. So that our temple and the committee will be showing this film at Rhythmics in April, and at that time also some artwork. People who have contributed to our virtual art in BCA, they are invited. They will be invited to show some of their own works. So we can go there. Their paintings will be there for a 2-month period, basically. And during that 2-month, the film will show on one day. So we can take them all in together or go on separate occasions and see this, and maybe we can explore and come to appreciate a little bit more the beauty that Sensei Paratskolopoulos is talking about. A different avenue, not just learning facts or reading things about Buddhism, but to experiences. And when we learn and experience it in that manner, we can see how we experience Nembutsu, everyday Buddhism in everyday life. Whatever we go through, we catch these moments, a glimpse of a sunset, the water at the beach, going fishing, whatever we might do, you know, we catch these glimpses of beauty, glimpses of the infinite that we're talking about. Okay? And through this, we enhance, we realize deeper that this spiritual aspect of my life is a real thing that I should recognize, that I should nurture, I should share with my family, with my friends. And this is what the Nembutsu path is about. Okay. So I wanted to share one part of that in this book. The book is called Call of the Infinite. Okay, and Buddha is described as infinite light and infinite life, right? And rarely, first time I ever heard the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, as the call of the infinite. And it changes things from descriptions of the Nembutsu that you would get from Honganji, but just the call of the infinite kind of opens it up to a different realm. When we think of Namo Amida Butsu in that term, those terms, to connect ourselves with the infinite. We're a part of this infinite, and it calls us and we respond. So anyway, he brings up this point. And in this one story, the Buddha has a disciple, Ananda, and we hear his name in a lot of our chants. So it is told that once Ananda, the beloved disciple of Buddha, saluted his master and said, half the holy life, O Master, is friendship with the beautiful, association with the beautiful, communion with the beautiful. And to this, the Buddha responded, say not so, Ananda, say not so. He says, it is not half of the holy life, it is the whole of the holy life. So everything, to be able to see the beauty, recognize the beauty, is what this spiritual path is about. Babies cry. It's beautiful. Okay, so we will continue. So today we're going to chant the Sambujo, that's 3 respectful callings, on page 24-25. Then the Hyobyakumon, our adorations, will be recited at the seat. And then we'll chant Sambutsuge. What page is that? 79?
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, we'll have the reading of the Ryogemon. We'll find a page number for you for that. I'll remind you later, but page 14. Okay, now we'll have our chanting Sambujo 24-25, Hyobyakumon Sambutsuge. Namanda, 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 namanda. on this occasion of the Shusho and New Year's service, members of our temple families have reverently come before Alameda Buddha. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Alameda, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat Kanembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Sanbutsuge, page 79.
Yo
How many months now?
4 months.
4? Okay. Very nice. Thank you for bringing him. I've only had stories from Joyce to share the beginning, the happenings at home, and every now and then we could hear him in the background for Zoom meetings and things like that. So nice to have the actual person here. So now that I've given my Dharma message early in advance and out of place, there's not too much else to talk about here. So. One of the benefits of being the chairperson and the sensei, I could change things as I like here. So next we're going to have the reading of the Ryogemon on page 14. Ryogemon number 1. We rely upon Tathagata Amida with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our powerless self. We believe that the assurance of our rebirth comes at the very moment we entrust and we call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thankfulness. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder, and the succeeding masters who have led us to believe in this profound teaching. And we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Okay, thank you very much. Well, we don't read the Ryōgyamon too often, but as we read it, we find reference here, and in the first section we are acknowledging Tathagata Amida, Amitabha, Amida Buddha, and with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come. So in the life to come does not mean after we die necessarily, because enlightenment can be as we are living this life now. Okay, and to awaken is to come to this awakened awareness during this lifetime. And okay, and it's always just like the historical Buddha. He became enlightened, but not completely entering nirvana until he got rid of his physical life, until he passed away. Okay, so as we live our life, we still have this connections to needing to live as homeowners. We still have our attachments to ourselves, to our family, to our jobs, to so many things, layers and layers of connections that we have, that we want to have. Okay, we're not trying to get rid of them, but we acknowledge them. This is our life here. Okay, and here it says, abstaining from all sundry practices. And this is what it says when we recite the three treasures as well. Okay. The Nembutsu practice is our primary practice, and doing other monastic lifestyle is not essential in this form of Buddhism. We're not trying to, again, get rid of our attachments and to diminish them, but we are to acknowledge them. So it's a little bit different than other paths of Buddhism. Okay. And this final section in the line in the first section, giving up the trust in our powerless self. Okay. So we are accustomed to relying on how we live our lives and how we carry ourselves. And in Shin Buddhism, it's acknowledging that even our things that we do that are giving, caring, there's always some kind of attachment to that. Very rarely do we do this in a very pure sense, okay? We give somebody a gift and we kind of like them to be nice to us too, right? And so we have these attachments that come with how we live our lives, and we want to acknowledge that and move to beyond that, okay? So in the second section, we believe that the assurance of our rebirth comes at the moment we entrust. So we come to accept these teachings, and when we don't accept them, this means we have some doubt. I'm not sure that these teachings make sense. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take this on completely, and this is doubt that comes from our mind, our calculated thinking, and this is a sense of our ego still at work. So when we have doubt, it's our ego coming out, protecting its grounds. This is the realm of the ego. This self is the realm of the ego. The ego refuses to let go, doesn't want to lose its control over our lives. So this is what is talking about, to be able to move beyond this self-centered ego, beyond these doubts and calculating mind. Okay. So, and then in the final section, we acknowledge the benign benevolence of our founder. So we look at the teachings of Shinran Shonin, the succeeding masters. We've talked about Renyo Shonin today, and next to him are the 7 masters that have brought these Nembutsu teachings from the time of the historical Buddha each one contributing something different and coming to be distilled as the Nembutsu teaching that is brought forward by Shinran Shoni. So this is the Ryogemon, kind of lays the groundwork of this Shin Buddhist path, and everyone that's involved that we have placed on the altar here. Okay, so every now and then we do read the Ryogemon, and I think it's very touching for us. Okay. Okay, so this will conclude our service today. I'd like to thank everyone. We have some new people, and we have some coming from who were here last night and coming again to enjoy our service. So we thank them everyone for your attendance. We have some people that weren't here yesterday, so those of you, the two of you that came last night, can you stand up and reintroduce yourself? Say your name, where you're from a little bit. Please. Yeah. Why don't you begin?
I'm Joseph. I lived in Southern California for the past few years. I just moved back. I'm from Alameda originally, so I just came back from college. I went to Orange County Buddhist a little bit. I'm trying to get more involved here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm actually living in Southern California, just visiting some friends, so but it's been nice to. I've never been, so to be very exposed.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're trying to steal people from Southern California, improve our tempo a little bit. So, at Orange County, Reverend Marvin and myself, we went to the Institute of Buddhist Studies together at the same time, and my first temple was the Idaho, Oregon Buddhist Temple in Eastern Oregon, and that's his home temple. So we would see his mom and dad and aunt and uncle every Sunday at service, and here and there all over town as well. So on special occasions, Reverend Marvin would come home up there, and we'd see him, and he'd join us at service. And Marvin, since you're here, you want to give the Dharma talk? Okay. And so it was a nice treat for him to speak to his own congregation and to have his parents there. So we always had an appreciation for Reverend Marvin, now Bishop Marvin Harada. And we have the whole of the Maniva family here joining us today. So usually we see you in bits and pieces, coming on different occasions, but to come to service, I think it's very special. So thank you. Kind of a initiation for the little one here. And his name again?
It's Kai.
Kai? Okay. All right. So you can tell their family, they're all dressed alike and they look very similar today. So thank you again for being here with us. So any other words or expressions for today to be shared? Okay, very good. I'd like to thank everyone involved. Fresh flowers adorn the altar, and the flower toban was able to prepare those. And special for the New Year's, we have omochi, kagami mochi on there instead of our usual rice offerings. There's a mochi offering on each of our altars. And so this signifies the start of the year. And what else is up here? Our usual fruits, seasonal fruits and such. I'd like to thank the video people who are providing this service on YouTube. And we have new ideas to improve our video services as well. So this is something that's coming up for this year. And looking forward to that. So a little bit of improvements coming along here and there as we move into this 2024. So let me relight the incense, make sure it's burning, and then I'd like to ask each of you to come up. So let's conclude with Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda.
Yeah.